Mapagpalang araw sa ating lahat mga ka-ETULAY TV. Ito po ang inyong lingkod na si Tutor Martin from SDO Valenzuela. At ating pong tatalakayin ang para sa second quarter, Music 8, na araling East Asian Music. Ngunit bago po tayo dumako sa East Asian Music, tayo po talakayin muna natin ang most essential learning competency. Analyze musical elements of selected songs and instrumental pieces heard and performed. Dito po i-analyze po natin ang musical elements na gagamitin po natin for East Asian music at yung mga instrumento na kadalasang ginagamit po nila sa kanilang musika. Okay po, so let's now proceed to our discussion. Traditional music is part of our culture. Okay, but usually we differ from one country to another. Kadalasan po, nagkakaiba sa kultura, sa tradisyon, lalo na sa musika. Pero meron pa rin pong pagkakapareho. And para maipakita po natin ang pagkakapareho ng musika ng East Asia, isa-isahin po natin ang bawat characteristics nila. Number one is linearity. Linearity emphasizes the melody. So dito po, medyo rare po yung paggamit ng harmony. Kasi most of their performances are most focused on melodic line. Simple. Next, transparency. Transparency focuses on the individual instrument. Kahit gaano kalaki ang isang orchestra or ang isang musical ensemble, bawat instrumento ay may individual role specific dun sa melody na piniplay nila. So hindi po basta-basta magsasabay-sabay kasi bawat instrument ay merong ipe-perform at merong ipaparinig sa mga nakikinig. And then we have the word orientation that focus on very low use of abstraction in music. In this case, traditional Asian music has title or lyrics. So that is exactly what the piece is about. Ibig sabihin po natin, bawat kanta po sa East Asian music ay may sariling title at may sariling lyrics. At yung mismong title at lyrics, yun yung dinedepict ng kanta kung paano siya tinutugtog at kung paano siya inaawit. Halimbawa po sa Japan, we have Sakura, which is literally meaning cherry blossoms. And also in Korea, we have Arirang, that depicts the Arirang Pass. Okay, so let's now proceed to the pentatonic tonal system. According to the myth and legend, si Linglong, who is the founder of music in Chinese mythology, ay gumawa po ng sistema ng musika. Sa pamamagitan ng bamboo pipes, itinono niya yung mga bamboo pipes sa huni ng ibon at ng phoenix. And nung naitono na ito, nagkaroon po ng invention na 5 notes of the ancient Chinese 5-tone scale. O mas kilala po natin na gong, shang, zhao, ji, and yu. Ngayon po, para mas maintindihan natin yung 5-tone scale ng Chinese, i-relate po natin siya dun sa Western scale ng 5-tone, which is yung Western solfeggio. So kung makikita po natin dito sa dalawang staff, naka-indicate po dito yung solfeggio ng Western, which is yung do, re, mi, fa, sol, la, ti, do, and then yung gong, shang, zhao, bian, zi, yu, and bian, gong. But in this case, since pentatonic tayo, penta means 5. So kailangan 5 lang po na tono. Pero nandito po kasi is 7. And the lower part nga po, 8 kasi merong higher do. So which is equivalent to the lower do. So dito po, tatanggalin po natin yung dalawang tono. So ano po yung tatanggalin natin? Kung ang sagot po ninyo ay yung fa at yung ti or yung bianzi or yung bianggong, tama po ang sagot natin. For Western solfeggio, we are focusing on do, re, mi, sol, and la. With the number 1, 2, 3, 5, and 6. So this tonal system are mainly used for halos lahat po ng mga music ng East Asian. Especially po sa ating tatalakay ngayong araw na ito, which is Chinese music. As Confucius taught, beautiful and appropriate music is meant to promote social tranquility. Pag sinabi po natin tranquility, it means calm. Because in Confucius' thought or teachings, mas pinahalagahan po yung simplicity, yung norm of simplicity sa bawat kantang kanilang aawitin. Because the music is meant to regulate the behavior of the people so that they perform the ritual appropriately and obey authority. Since they are using it in ceremonial songs and religious musicals, kailangan maging formal, kailangan maging simple, walang abubot ang kanilang pag-awit ng kanta. To prove the tranquility and simplicity under the Confucius teachings. Next. In accord with Confucius' ideas of music being smoothly continuous, many pieces feature a regular but smoothly accelerating tempo. The usual tempo for songs is smoothly regular lang po. Continuous siya, tuloy-tuloy. Pero bandang dulo ng part ng song, medyo bumibilis siya. Just because of the depiction of a river gaining speed as it cascades downwards. Tulad ng isang ilog na dumadali po sa bundok at pagpababa ng pababa ang tubig, mas bumibilis ang agos. So doon po nakuha ang depiction ng smoothly continuous base sa teachings ni Confucius. Okay po. So let's now proceed to the traditional music in Chinese. So Chinese traditional music, kadalasan makikita po natin ito once napunta tayo ng China and we browse different cultures and tradition in that country. Ito pong tatlo ay yung unang-unang makikita natin when we go with traditional music. Number 1 is Chinese opera music that is usually for theaters and performances. Number 2 are the musical ensembles or group of instruments in a form of orchestra, whether it's a Chinese orchestra or a symphony orchestra. And then the last one is solo instrumental performances that uses solo singers performing or solo instrumental with the use of different instruments. Para maintindihan po natin yung mga instruments na ginagamit, tayo po'y dumako sa Chinese traditional musical instruments. So let's start with the chordophones. First one is the yue chin or a moon-shaped lute. It's a type of guitar na moon-shape ang pagkakahulma and then merong 4 strings. The next one is pipa with a pear-shaped lute that has 4 strings. It has many frets para mag-create ng sound kapag iniipit po yung string. The next one is the erhu or similarly sa kilala po natin na violin. It's a 2-string bowed instrument. Pero magkakaiba po sila ng purpose. And then the last one is the zeng, which is a pluckboard zither. Sumunod naman po tayo sa aerophones. Pag sinabi po nating aerophones, these are instruments blown by air. And the first example is the sheng, which is a mouth-blown free reed. The second one is the Diaz or the Chinese transverse flute. And then the last category is the idiophones. When we are talking about idiophones, we are talking about percussions. And one of the examples of percussion is yunluo, or a 10-tuned small gongs. Paano po ba natin pinaplay ang percussions? It's either gumagamit po tayo ng stick para i-hit po yung instrument or yung mismong instrument ang mag-uuntugan sa bawat isa. Best example po doon is cymbals. Pero in this case, idiophones using a stick or a mallet, ginagamit po natin kay yunluo dahil meron po siyang 10 gongs. And the last one is the 2 small bells, pengling. So these are instruments that is used for traditional Chinese music na nabanggit po natin kanina. Maliwanag po ba? Kung ganon, tayo na magtungo sa ating huling parte ng aralin. Maraming salamat po sa pakikinig sa ating lesson for today. Sa ating introduction ng East Asian music at sa pag-elaborate po natin ng pentatonic and Chinese style music patungo dun sa mga instruments na ginagamit nila sa kanilang performances. Sana po ay may natutunan kayo sa ating session. Muli, ito po ang inyong lingkod na si Tutor Martin from SDO Valenzuela. Maraming salamat at isang mapagpalang araw sa ating lahat. Salamat po.
Magandang buhay po sa ating lahat. Welcome po sa ating ETULAY online tutorial on TV. Ako po si Tutor Jerik mula sa SDO Cabanatuan, ang inyong makakasama para sa Arts 8. Ang ating pong tatalakayin ngayon ay patungkol sa mga elements and principles of arts and crafts in East Asian countries. Okay. Sa ating talakayan ngayon, meron po tayong most essential learning competency na nakapalo po dito ay ang pag-analyze ng elements and principles of arts in the production of arts and crafts inspired by the cultures of East Asia. Okay, so tumungo na po tayo sa ating talakayan. Okay. East Asian arts. So each of these countries has its own distinct culture. Ang iba't ibang bansa sa East Asia ay may iba't ibang natatanging mga kultura na masasalamin sa kanilang mga likhang sining. At sa pagkakaiba, syempre, meron din po silang mga pagkakahawig or pagkakatulad. So it includes a high sense of self-awareness and public norms. Okay. So as we move on, talakayin po muna natin yung unang 5 principles ng arts na nakapaloob sa bawat art form. Okay. So una dyan ay ang tinatawag nating balance. So it is the sense of the stability achieved through implied weight of an object. Okay, so balance refers to an overall distribution of visual weight in a composition. Sabi nga natin, a well-balanced composition feels comfortable to look at. Pag balance po ang mga design natin, mas maganda po ito sa ating mga mata. Okay, so meron po tayong 3 klase ng balance na tinatawag. Una, yung symmetrical balance, whereas when one image is mirrored on the other side to repeat itself. Whereas ito po yung pinaka-formal type ng tinatawag nating balance na kung saan nahahati po yung disenyo sa dalawang halves na nakakaroon ng mirror effect. Okay? Next po. Ang tinatawag nating asymmetrical, when different types of elements create a visual balance. So, kung kanina si symmetrical, tinatawag natin formal, si asymmetrical naman po, ito yung tinatawag nating informal and seamless organized. Makikita naman po natin, di ba? Hindi siya katulad ni symmetrical na kung andito yung puno kanina, i-mirror type niya lang yung nandito sa kabila. So, ito po, magkaiba. Pero, same balance or it creates visual balance pa din kahit magkaiba ng tungo yung pinaka-design natin. Okay, next po is yung tinatawag nating radial balance. Is the distribution of elements around a central point in all direction. So, ang example ko po dito ay yung pagguhit natin ng bulaklak. Na kung saan, di ba, minsan ginagawa natin, tumutuldok tayo sa gitna and then doon magsisimula magdodraw ng petals. So, meron pinagmumulang gitna and then kailangan maging balance yung bawat petals para visually maganda yung kalalabasan ng ating artwork. Magkaroon ng balance. Magkakasing size yung mga petals. Okay. So, next principle po tayo, yung tinatawag nating pattern. As a principle of design may be defined as a regular arrangement of repeated same elements. Whereas, in a design, pwede maging line, shape, forms, or colors na kailangan maging repeated or maulit para magkaroon ng pattern na tinatawag or pwede tinatawag din natin siyang motif. Okay, next. Proportion. So, is the relationship of two or more elements in a design and how they compare with one another. It is said to be one another or can be a harmonious when a correct relationship exists between the elements with respect to size or quantity. Okay, so sinasabi rin po natin na kapag nagdo-drawing tayo or nagpe-painting, kailangan yung magkaroon tayo ng realistic effect. Okay? Realistic effect. So kung wala tayong proportion sa ating mga artwork, hindi siya magkakaroon ng realistic or magiging abstract siya. Okay? Next po. The next principle is what we call unity. In an artwork, creates a sense of harmony and wholeness by using similar elements within the composition and placing them in a way that brings them all together. It means that ito po yung nagbibigay ng harmonious effect sa isang artwork. For the next item, what beautiful art handwriting comes from China? Letter A, calligraphy. B, Japanese calligraphy. C, Korean calligraphy. And D, woodblock printing. And then lastly, repetition is simply repeating a single element many times in a design. It is the use of two or more elements or form within a composition para magkaroon tayo ng isang systematic and well-arranged pattern. Okay, so yun po yung limang principles sa arts. Okay, pumunta naman po tayo ngayon sa mga examples ng mga East Asian arts. Okay, unahin po natin sa bansang Japan. Meron po tayong tinatawag na origami. Ano po ba si origami? Si origami po ay isang traditional art form na kung saan ito yung tinatawag nilang paper folding, pagtutupi ng papel. Okay, the word origami originated from ori and kami. So what is the meaning? Ori means folding, then kami means paper. So nabuo po yung origami. So ano-ano po ba yung mga kalimitang nabubuo or binubuo nilang model sa isang origami? Okay, meron po tayo diyang bulaklak, dolls, geometric shape, or animals such as birds and fish. So, okay. So, makikita nyo po sa example ko dito sa larawan. Ito ay isang example ng swan. Next, Chinese calligraphy. In calligraphy, the paper and silk were the most popular materials. This is the medium na kung saan ito yung ginagamit sa pagdikha ng isang calligraphy. Whereas, ang sinasabi po natin na calligraphy ay yung tinatawag nating beautiful writing or handwriting na kung saan has been appreciated throughout every culture. Calligraphy can be on scrolls such as hanging scrolls or hand scrolls, album sheet, walls, lacquerware, folding screens, or other media. Makikita natin siya sa iba't ibang uri ng scrolls sa panahon ng mga Chinese dynasty and also nag-exist pa rin siya magpa sa hanggang ngayon. Next up, the Korean drums play a significant role in the traditional Korean music from folk music to court music. These drums were used in accompanying instruments, especially in important events or shows. So, ang Korean drums po ay hindi mawawala dapat sa isang importanteng pagtitipon doon sa Korea nung mga panahon ng mga iba't ibang dynastiya. So, ano-ano po ba yung mga examples natin dyan? Meron tayong Janggu, the Book, the Galgo, and the Do. Kung saan si Gangju, a double-headed hourglass shape, si Bok, a barrel drum, Galgo, a double-headed hourglass shape but only with two sticks, and the Do, single pellet drum on a pole. Okay, so this drums is classified into membranophone. Na kung saan ito po mga drum natin, pinaka-membrane po nila ay gawa sa balat ng hayop. Okay, and then yung pinakakatawan po nila ay gawa sa wood or possible sa metal. So I hope marami po tayong natutunang bagong konsepto pagdating sa East Asian art. So ngayon po magkakaroon po tayo ng simple assessment. So assessment po, pipili lang po tayo ng letra from the choices. So, unang question. It is a type of Korea's drum which is like a barrel. A. Bok. B. Do. C. Galgo. D. Django. So, if your answer is letter A, then you got it right. It is Bok. Next question. For the next item, what beautiful art handwriting comes from China? Letter A. Calligraphy. B. Japanese calligraphy. C. Korean calligraphy. And D. Woodblock printing. What is the answer? If your answer is letter A, you are amazing. Japanese origami uses different types of models as their subject in painting. The following are the models used, except one. Letter A, cloth. Letter B, dolls. Letter C, flowers. Letter G, geometric shapes. The answer is letter A. Okay, so congratulations po at naitawid po natin ang panibagong kaalaman pagdating sa Arts 8. I hope po everyone is getting a lot of new things and it can be applied sa ating mga skills na magagamit natin sa ating mga paaralan and also sa paggawa ng isang artwork. Okay, so once again po, this is Tutor Jerik from SDO Cabanatuan saying goodbye and God bless!